Very good afternoon to all. Welcome to Tally CA Connect. So our expert for today is Advocate Gautam Sharma. Gautam ji is very passionate about Tally, and each time he comes up with brilliant ideas. And this time too, with the audit season coming in, Gautam sir said that how can auditors save more time? So let us take session on that part. And he had advised that actually through marking vouchers, clients don't have to redo the changes in case of edits, and also with Tally Sync you can import data from your clients directly, import from your clients' data remotely and without having to go through VPN or getting the files from your client's place. So let us make the best out of it. Thank you, Gautam sir. Once again, great idea that in the audit season it will be really helpful. And with the audio, with the recording in the our YouTube channel, more people can benefit from this as well. Great to see on a return filing day we have a great number of crowd as well. So yeah, thank you so much, Gautam ji. Over to you.
Thank you, Komal ma'am, for the nice introduction and welcome you all. Welcome to TallyCA Connect. So for today, our topic will be how we can use marked voucher, what actually is marked voucher, and how we can use Tally synchronization feature to save our time. Right. So without wasting my time, let me quickly share my screen. So our today's first topic is what are marked voucher and how actually we can use marked voucher to get the benefit of these options and how we can save our time using marked voucher. So marked voucher is basically a small option or a feature by Tally, which help us to track all the changes that are made within a voucher entry. It is very useful for accountants, consultant, or chartered accountants for updating the data to clients and this marked voucher helps in knowing which vouchers are changed after getting the data from the client or which vouchers we have added after getting the data from the client. For example, today is 11th June, and we all know that this is a last date for filing our GSTR1. So when we receive our data from our client over email or any other medium, we are making some changes in the data. So before making the changes, if we are enabling the marked voucher option, so what Tally will do, it will make a list of all the vouchers where we are going to make any changes. Any changes means if we are adding any voucher, if we are making, or if we are doing cancellation of any voucher, if we are just pressing Alt X to cancel any voucher, that will be recorded separately. And after making all these things, after making a list of all the transactions of voucher, Tally will give an option to export XML of those particular transactions, and after exporting those particular transactions, we can re-import those XML file into our client's PC. How to do all these things? We will see it practically. Now, so marked voucher helps knowing which vouchers got changed or which vouchers are added newly. It helps us in importing only updated transactions to our client data, and it helps us to keep our data very clean. Like there is no chance for duplicate entries and all, and helps us to save our time. So why marked vouchers are required? Because we all consultant make some changes in our client data. After making the changes, we can simply export our XML file. We can share the XML file with our client, and we can just guide them once how to import those XML files. So whatever changes we are making, those changes will be incorporated into our client-side data. Now the question comes, how we can enable our marked voucher option? So in TallyPrime, you have to go to F11, that is features. In the features, in right side, last option, you can see marked vouchers, enable marked voucher, something will be there on Tally screen. We will see it practically. So that option by default, no, you have to make it yes. Then just by pressing Ctrl A or by pressing Enter key, you have to save and exit from that screen, right? Now the question comes, after enabling marked voucher option, where to see this report, where to get the list of all the transactions which are recorded within marked voucher options. So for that, for viewing the report, we have to go to our display more report, then exception report, then the marked voucher option. Now, we have to note one thing, that in marked voucher, we can record the newly added vouchers. We can have a record of altered voucher. We can have a record of cancelled voucher. But if we are deleting any voucher, those deleted voucher cannot be captured with in marked voucher report. And for example, I'm having a data at my office. From that data, in that data, I'm entering some new transactions. I'm altering some existing transactions, and some transactions were there, or some vouchers were there, that I'm making it as a cancel voucher. After that, I'm deleting some voucher. For example, some fictitious entries were there, or some entries were there that I don't want, and I have deleted those entries. So in marked voucher report, we can see the newly added transactions, the altered transaction, the cancelled transaction, but we cannot see which transaction has been, or which voucher has been deleted. So we have to make sure, if we are using marked voucher features, it's best, or it is good to delete, not delete, it's better to cancel the voucher instead of deleting the voucher. Okay. So that we can incorporate the changes into our client side also. Now, how to share those marked vouchers? After making the changes in your tally data, we have to go to the marked voucher report. Within the report, we can simply export our XML file, and we can share that XML file with our client. Okay. And last part is how the client will import those XML file. Just from his gateway of Tally, he can click on import. Like one button is there on the top of your screen in gateway of Tally. Just you have to click there, or your client has to click there, and then they can select import transactions, and within transaction they have to select their XML file path and just import their XML files. Okay. Now, instead of going with these theoretical things, let us move to practical session, because everything we have to cover in our practical part also. So let us quickly move to that. Okay. So here I'm having one tally data. So this is a company. In this company, I have some transactions. You can see there are some transactions. Okay. Now, the very first step is, after receiving my client data, this is the data that I have received from my client. So after receiving the data from my client, what I have to do? First, I have to press F11 button on my keyboard, so that I will be getting this features option, right? After getting this feature option, in the left, not left, in the right last part, in the right last part, I can see there is an option, marked modified voucher, marked modified voucher. So by default, this will be no only. This will be no only. We have to make it yes. And then we have to accept our screen. Now our marked voucher report will be there within our display more reports, exception report, and there we can see one new option is there, marked voucher. Wait. So this way we see our marked voucher register. Now, after enabling this feature, if we are going to make any change in any entry, or if we are going to make some new entries also, we will get the list of those particular altered or newly created entries here. Okay. Right now I'm pressing escape and I am in my gateway of Tally. What I'm going to do is I'm creating a voucher on with the date 11th June. And I'm making a cash payment entry. And let me make a payment entry with a new ledger, Gautam ledger or Gautam demo ledger, whatever name we can we can give. There is no such restrictions. Let me make it current liability, and here I am giving one pin code for showing like how the things will be copied to our new company. And I'm giving a value of, let's suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and just I'm giving this voucher. Now what happened? I just created a new transaction. I have created a new voucher. Now if I have to go to that report, so what I have to do? I have to go to my display more reports and then exception report and then marked voucher. That is XV. Let me show you. For display, X for exception, and V for marked voucher. So DXV is the shortcut key. So when I'm coming to this marked voucher register, here you can see only one transaction is showing. The transaction that I have made after enabling that marked voucher register. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to my day book. I'm selecting all period from 1st April to last date of entry. And here I'm going to cancel this first voucher. The number is 1. I'm going to cancel this. Okay. Now for the third voucher, I'm going to make it as a receipt entry, and instead of accountant salary, or what we do, we can keep the same ledger if we want, and we can just change the amount. And one more ledger I'm going to add here, that is capital, and let me make it 1 lakh. Any random entry just I'm showing here for in the report. Now in display more reports, if we go to this exception report and marked voucher, now you can see there are 3 number of transactions. The total number of transactions are 3. The newly created one, the altered one, and the one which we have cancelled. Okay. Now if I go to my day book and if I delete any existing entry, if I delete it, so the deleted voucher will not be recorded there in marked voucher option or that register DXV. And you can see only 3 vouchers are coming. We cannot get the deleted voucher details here. So we have to make sure we don't delete anything. If we want to remove any entry, just we can make it as a cancel voucher. That will be the best practice if you are using marked voucher options. Okay. Now what I want to share these new entries or altered entries details only with my client so that they can update their tally. So before doing that, let me quickly open one more tally here. I have opened a new tally here, and let me do one thing. Let me copy that data again, that raw data. Like I'm making a folder client data, and within this client data, I will bring that raw data again. Or what I can do, I can simply create a new company also for showing the feature. So just I'm creating a new company, client side. And in client data, we don't have to enable that marked voucher because just here we want to import the XML and we want to incorporate the missing entries here, right? So in the client side data, what we have to do, we have to just import the XML. So how to get that XML? If I open my side data again, that is the GG trader, this company. In the marked voucher register, what I have to do, I have to click on export. Within export, I have to click on current. In current, I have to go to this configure first, and then I have to click on show more. here the file format should be XML, and you can select your folder path where you want to export your XML file and what should be the name of your XML file. Okay, and then you have to just press Ctrl A. One more thing you can do in the configure option, you can simply make this option include dependent master as yes, so that if any dependent master is there with your ledger, so that details will also come in your XML, and that will be also incorporated into your client data. Now, after saving all configurations, just click on export. And upon clicking on export, what will happen? In our folder path, we will get this XML file. You can see here is our XML file. Now, in the new tally data, where there are no ledgers, what I want these three things only. The new data only I want here. So what to do? Just go to import from your gateway, select transaction, the file format, and select XML. Then from where you want to select your, or you want to pick your XML file, select that path. And then you can see tally.xml. This name is coming for my file. Just I have to press enter to select that. And it's recommended to take backup before you import or export any, not export, but before you import anything, try to take backup. Here I'm skipping this part. And you can see, if I go to my daybook, three things are coming. One is the cancelled voucher. One is the receipt entry. And you can see the ledger group and everything is fine and perfect. Everything is perfect. Along with the opening balance, it will come. And for this Gautam demo ledger, you can see the pin code is also there. That means everything is fine and perfect. And you can see this current liability is also there. So this is how you can share the modified or newly added transactions, only those transaction XML to your client. From now onwards, if you are going to receive any data for audit, for GSTR filing, or for any other purpose, and if you are making any changes in your data at your office, simply before doing anything, first enable your marked voucher option, then do the things, and then just quickly export your XML and share it with your client. Okay. Now there is a question. Sir, we are not changing, or we are not adding any new entry. We are not altering any transaction. We are not adding any new transaction, or we are not going to cancel any transaction. Just what we are doing, this is our office data. What we are doing, we are going to opening balance sheet, and we are making some changes here. Changes as in, for example, instead of this CGST payable, I am making it GST payable. Instead of this Gautam demo ledger, I'm making it as advance from customers. I'm not going to make any entry. I'm just making some changes in the masters. So how to incorporate these kind of changes into our client's data? For this, can we use marked voucher? No, we cannot use marked voucher, because marked vouchers, the name itself contains the word voucher. Voucher means if you are making any alteration within your vouchers, if you're adding some new vouchers, then only you can get that report within marked vouchers. But if you are making any changes, or if you are adding some new masters, then what to do? In that case, you can go to your statistics. From within go to feature, type statistics, and then here you can see all the ledger group and all the masters will be there. Simply you can click on export export masters, go to configure, Select the type of master. Here you can select all masters. Include dependent master, make it yes. And then the file format. You can make the file format as XML. And then select the folder path. Give the name to your XML file and just press Ctrl A and then click on export. The moment you do this, and then you come to your client side data, here you can see there's only 1, 2, and 3 things in our opening balance sheet, right? Now what we will do, we will just import our masters from within Gateway of Tally. This import option, then select masters, select the file format as XML, select your data path, select your XML file, and then you can select modify with new data. And then just if you want to take backup, you can make this option yes. Right now I'm ignoring this part and just press enter. Here it is saying some exceptions are there. Okay, it is saying that the date of our company creation was different, so it is coming. Let us just ignore that only. Other than stock, everything is okay. Stock is also there, but one exception is there. No problem. You can see everything is fine and perfect. Now, where is that? Wait. Got it. Just a moment. So here my financial year beginning from was 1/4/23, and in my client side data, new company I have created, here it is 1/4/25. So there's a difference. If I re-import that, okay, everything is there, but not that ledger. Why? Let us quickly see that. Okay. Okay. We are unable to see that because we are exporting, we are importing our masters only, not transactions, right? So here you can see the value is coming from a transaction, not from the opening balance. And in that company, in the client side company, we are trying to see the opening balance. So for that reason, we are not able to get those amounts here. If we go to this ledger, the masters are there. That means everything is fine and perfect. Okay. So this was all about marked vouchers. One more thing is there within marked vouchers. After making your changes, for example, I'm making some changes here. And after making the changes, I'm going to my marked voucher register. Here I'm getting the report. Every time what we have to do, like what I told, you can just export this and you can share it with your client. Instead of exporting this, can we do one thing? From within Tally, can we send the XML file to our client via email? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. How to do that? For sharing your XML data with your client, what you have to do, first of all, you have to come to your marked voucher register. That is from Gateway of Tally, go to display more report, exception report, and then marked voucher. And here you can click on this option, share. The moment you click on share, you can select current and then select your email ID from which you want to send the data. Then enter new email address, or if your client's existing email address is there, you can select that. You can give the subject. You can give the message body. Then press enter and go to configure. Within configure, make sure this file format should be XML. If you want to give any name to your file, you can alter that. Else, click on email. The moment you click on email, it will ask you for password. You don't have to give your Gmail password. You have to create a separate app password, and then you have to enter that app password here. Right now, I'm having one of my app password. Okay. So the XML file has been sent to my client over email. Can we see that? Yes. This was my client's email ID. If I click on refresh email, you can see just now, 0 minutes ago, we have received this XML file. I can simply download this XML. Like if I'm a client, simply I can download this XML and I can import it into my data, and all the changes that my auditor has made will be incorporated into my tally. And I won't have to ask, sir, please do the changes in my data also. Please take AnyDesk, please take UltraViewer. We have to say all these things now. Okay, so with this, we have successfully completed our marked voucher topic. If you have any doubt, please let me know.
There are two queries on marked voucher, if you can see in the Q&A.
Okay, just a moment. After making the changes and sending the XML report, is it not necessary to set the marked voucher feature to no? It is not necessary. It is not required. One more thing you can do, or some more features are there with marked vouchers. Let me show you that. When you go to that marked voucher report, in the right corner, you can see two options with there. One is export history, one is clear all. For example, you have exported this voucher. You have exported this voucher either using this export feature or with your email option. Now you that when you are going to make some changes in other entities, this voucher should not be there. So what you can do, you can simply click on this clear all marking. Just you have to click here. The moment you click here, all the entries will be removed from this report. Okay. Another one thing, there is one more option, export history. So this export history, when you click on that button, it will show the date on which date how many number of vouchers has been exported. When you press enter, it will give the details of those vouchers. So these two features are there. You can use these two features. Any other queries?
Yeah, I think how to create an app password.
Okay. Okay. Let me quickly show you how to create an app password. Just a moment. So here is my Gmail account. For creating an app password, what I can do, I can go to this this profile icon button and then select manage Google account. Once you click Google account, manage your Google account, this kind of will be there. You have to go to your security. In security, you have to make sure that two-step verification should be on before getting your app password. This is mandatory and you have to make sure this should be turned on. After making your two-step verification on, then only you can create your app password. Now, in my case, already it is on. The feature is enabled. I can search here app password. In the search option, you can search app password. It will ask you to enter your email password. Then it will give you this option. It will ask you to give a name to your app. If you are making for Tally, you can give it as TallyPrime. Any name you want to give, you can give. You have to click on create. The moment you create, it will give your app password like this. You have to just copy it and you have to paste it somewhere in your text file or anywhere, and you have to remove your space. You have to remove your space, and after removing the space, you can just copy your app password and you can use that app password in your Tally. So I think creating an app password, that is also covered. Let me quickly check if any other query is there. Is there any report that will show the edit or change history kind of comparison? Yes, sir. Sachin ji, already I have shown that you can have a history of marked voucher export. Once I shared the marked voucher report, then further I have made it. Okay. Okay. All the queries are completed. Let us move to synchronization. So in this synchronization option, let us see what are the features, how we can use the synchronization options.
So I
So
think
let
we
us,
can do the full slide mode instead of presentation mode, so that both the slides are not there. One slide can be seen on a big, yeah,
okay.
the presentation mode. नीचे जहाँ 70% है ना cursor, मतलब yeah.
Where is that?
Usually that's how the presentation. Okay, never mind. It's quite big, so it will be visible. So it should be fine. We shouldn't wait for it. Anyway, it's quite big font, so it's visible.
Okay. Just a moment. So how to do synchronization setup? And before going with the things like how to do the setup and all these things, let us first understand what is synchronization. For example, your client is place of business. He wants to make some entries at his end. At their end, they want to make some entries. And in the same data, you also want to make some entries. That means simultaneously, at the same time, you as a chartered accountant or as a professional and your client both want to make some entries in a Tally data. So that we can do using synchronization. Another one example, for example, your business is having multiple branches. From each branch, you want to take the data and combine the data into a single Tally data. That is, in a head office data, you want to fetch data from all your branches. So that also you can do using Tally synchronization option. So what is synchronization? How to use that? Let us quickly see that. Now, what are the prerequisites before doing the settings? What are the that you have to keep on your mind? First of all, make sure you are using latest version of Tally. If you are using previous versions of Tally, no problem, it will work. But it's recommended to use the latest version of Tally. Right now it is 6.0. For doing the synchronization, make sure your client data Tally version and your Tally version should be same. For example, if your client is having the Tally data in Tally 6.0, then you also have to do the settings in your computer in Tally 6.0. Okay, there should be no changes in Tally version. Make sure that you have allowed Tally ODBC port with like firewall restrictions should not be there, and there should be unique company ID or company name. Unique company ID or company name means if your client is having ABC Limited, in your computer, what is the name of your company? That should be unique, so that you can easily identify which is the client data, which is the server data. After that, how to enable synchronization? First, from gateway of Tally, we have to go to that features option F11. Then there will be an option data synchronization. We have to enable that, and then after that we can make some client rule and server rules. We will see practically how to do all these things. Let me skip this PPT part because it's better to view all these things practically. I'm doing one thing. I'm creating a new company. In the new company, I'm giving a client name Gautam. I'm selecting the state Odisha, and I'm giving the financial year as 1425, and I'm just saving this screen. Now, from my client data, from my client office, I want to fetch his Tally data to my office computer. So let's suppose this blue color Tally is my client side data. Let me minimize it, and let me quickly one more Tally that will be my office computer, like it will act as my office computer. Okay, and for having the differentiation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to F1 help settings display, and I'm disabling the color. I'm making it as dark. So this is my office data. In Tally also, I'm going to create a new company that is Gautam Data Sync. Okay, and I'm giving the state name as Odisha, and I'm just saving this options. Now this is my client's this is my office computer, and this blue color Tally, this is my client's computer. For example, you can think it like I'm doing this over UltraViewer or AnyDesk. Now, first, you have to understand what is client PC, what is server PC. So the data which is originally created in a place, or you can say where we are having the data right now, that is the client PC, and the data or company where we want to pull the data or where we want to fetch the data, that is known as a server PC. Okay, so for enabling synchronization option, you can go to your client PC, that means your customer's PC, and you can enable this option within features, enable Tally.net services for remote access and synchronization. Make this option as yes, and then press Ctrl A. Once you make that option yes, and then you go to this exchange option, now you can see data synchronization tab there, and there will be some buttons. Here you have to select all sync option, and then you have to write some client rule. Let us create some rule. One rule should be there for master, the rule name will be master. What is the rule type? For master, the rule type should be master. And how, what method of synchronization you want, whether it should be IP or URL based or on demand or online. Keep it on demand. And then give tally.net ID of your server PC, that means of your office. Now, if we go to our office tally, what is the tally.net ID? This is pooja.gautamsharma@gmail.com. So just note it down and go back to your client side data. And here, enter that server account ID. And then you have to give the company name on server. That means what is the name of company on your server computer, on your server PC. So the name is Gautam Data Sync. What you can do, simply you can go to your company online access, in contact detail, make enter, and simply you can copy the name from here. It's better to copy and paste so that there will be no mistake in spelling or any other thing. And then it is asking direction of sync. So as a client, you want to send your data to your practice. So what you should select here? You should select send data. And there is an option set alter configuration. If you want to see more options here related to client role, you can make this as yes. And what it is asking synchronize altered master. If you're altering any master, do you want to synchronize that too? Make it yes. And then there is no need to make this option yes if you're not using multi-currency. So right now I'm making it no, and just we are accepting that screen. So first rule we have created for masters. Now we have to create a rule for transactions. And the rule type should be transaction. The method of sync on demand. ID is the ID of your server computer. The tally.net ID you have to give here. What is the name of your server computer's tally data company or tally company name? And then direction of sync. Now what we want whatever entries we are making from server computer that will be synced to the client side, and whatever entries we are making in the client PC that should be synced with the server PC or server computer. So what we have to do, we have to click on both. Once we click on both, it will ask all voucher types, or if any voucher type is there that you don't want to sync. So as per your choice, you can make these settings. And then here, set alter configuration. If you make it yes, there will be a lot of options. Synchronize alter transaction. The first option is, if you are altering any transaction, do you want to synchronize it? Always make it yes, so that alter transactions will also be getting synced with your server PC. Synchronize after save. For example, you want after making each entry, the data should be synchronized. If you want that kind of feature, then you should make it yes. But if you are having a lot of transactions, a lot of entries are there in your tally data, it's recommended to make it no only. Otherwise, it will slow down system. It will slow down your tally. Now, exclude master while sending. Sending the data, do you want to exclude the masters? No, we don't want to exclude, so make it no. And if any other thing is there that you want to enable or disable, as per your choice, you can do that. Right now, I'm just accepting that screen. Now, what I have done, I have created rules in client system. So after making the rules, first we have to go to this exchange, and then we have to click on this synchronize, so that the rules will be synced to the tally server. And we can view the log, event log here. You can see the timestamp will be there, and what is the message, what was the event, everything will be captured within this event log. So now it is saying that server rule and all the rules are now synced successfully. Now, in my client system, I don't have to do anything. Now I have to come to my office computer. That is a server computer. In my server computer, what I have to do, I have to go to this exchange. And now here we don't have to write any rule. First, we have to click on this synchronize. After synchronizing it, what we have to do, we have to go to this all sync option, and then we have to select server rules, and then you can see there is an option activate. You have to press enter. One by one, press enter. If you want to set or alter any configuration of this master rule, you can make it yes. And here you can see there will be an option overwrite opening balances. So make this option as yes for ledger and for stock item. For both, if you want to make the option as yes, you can select it. And then for this activate rule, make this option as yes again, and then press enter. Now our master's rule is activated. Same thing we will do for our transaction rule. This option deactivate when client rules yes, make this option as no. Select the set alter configuration as yes. If you want to make any changes here, you can do that. Else, simply press Ctrl A, and then for activating the rule, make this option as yes. Now, we have successfully activated our server rules. After activating the rules, first we have to click on synchronize so that the client and server PC will be connected with each other. Now, we have successfully synchronized our data from both the ends. Now, for example, I'm creating some ledgers. Party A under daters, Sambalpur, Odisha, and giving a GST number here, giving the opening balance as 1 lakh debit. This is my client data. Right now, I'm having one ledger under the group data. If I want to send this data to my, that is my practitioner's side, what I have to do? I have to click on this exchange, and simply I have to click on this synchronize option. The moment I click synchronize, you can see what message it is giving. Sending data to server. That means from client PC, it is sending the data to our server PC. Now synchronization has been successfully completed from this part. Now, if I go to my server PC and if I try to view the ledgers, I can see the data is not showing. Ledger is not showing here. So what I have to do? I have to sync my data. I pull the data from Tally server. So just click on this exchange and then click on this synchronize. Now, if we go to our balance sheet, we can see one data ledger is there. If we alter that ledger, everything is there. Got it? But now what if from the server PC, we have to send some data to our client system? For example, I am making one entry, one pay entry we are going to make. And here I am making a cash payment entry, and the party A, and the amount will be, let's suppose 50,000. I have made one entry. I'm going to sync, exchange, and synchronize. So what I have done, I have added a transaction. Now, if I go to my client data, client side system, and if I go to this exchange and I click on synchronize, that transactions, whatever transactions are there in my server PC, that will be synced to my client PC. So you can see in the backend, we can see 1st April here. And if we go to daybook, one entry is there with 50,000. That means it is working fine, perfectly. It is working fine. Now, what if I want to create a master from server PC? That means in my office data, I'm going to create one ledger, and the ledger name is, let's suppose, Tally webinar expenses, and under indirect expenses, and accept it. What if I want to send this master from my server PC to my client PC? Will it work? No, it won't work. Right now, it won't work. Why? I will explain. First, after making those master, I'm clicking on this synchronize so that my data will be pushed to Tally server. Now, if I go to my client side computer, and if I press Alt Z, and if I click on this synchronize, my data is getting synchronized, but I will not get that master. If I go to this ledger, you can see that master Tally webinar expense ledger is not coming. Do you know why it is not coming? Because when we have created the client rule for master, what we have created send. That means we will just push our master from client side to server side. But for transactions, what we have done, we have selected it as both. That means from client to server and from server to client. That is why transactions are getting recorded, or that are those transactions are getting exchanged, but we are not able to exchange our master from server PC to client PC. So how to do this? How to make this two-way communication between your data? How to enable that? So the rule that we have created in our client system for masters, same rule we have to create in our server computer. So what we have to do, we have to go to this exchange, all sync option, and then client rule, and then we have to create. We can give any other name other than masters, give any other name. The name should be unique. Server master, like that we can give any name. We are making this master for the rule for masters on demand. And the name of company on server. So right now we have to give the name of our client data. So this is Gautam only. So simply type Gautam. And now what should be the direct sync? From server also we want to push the data, right? So we will select send data. And then press yes if you want to do any changes here. Else press Ctrl A and accept. Once you are creating any rule, you have to go to your exchange and then you have to synchronize your data, right? The moment you are synchronizing, what will happen? All the settings, all the data will push to Tally server, and from there, if we go to our client side and again if we click on synchronize, it will pull all the things from Tally server. Now, if you remember, after creating the client rules and after making the synchronization, we went to our office computer, that is a server PC, and there after synchronization, first we have activated the rule. In the same way, after making any rule from server PC, We have synced the rule to the Tally server. After that, we came to our client side data, and then we synced so that we can fetch the rule details. And now what we have to do, we have to go to this all sync option and then server rules, and then we have to activate. You can see server master, the rule name is coming server master, and from which company it is coming, the client company name Gautam data sync. Press enter, make it yes if you want to override opening balances, and then you have to activate rule by making it yes. Once the rules are activated, again you have to go to this synchronize. If I go to my troubleshooting and if I check this event log, you can see here one message is coming. Request cannot be served. Please try later. Sometimes this can happen. Nothing to worry. Just you have to go to the synchronize option again and you have to press enter. You don't have to worry about that. There can be some connectivity issue. If you click it again, it will work. Now, if we make any change in our server data, and if we go to exchange and click on synchronize, it didn't work. There was some network connectivity issue. Again, I have to click on that. How I'm getting, how I got to know that it is not working, because this kind of pop-up was not there. Okay. This tally clock with my cursor, that was not coming. So I got to know that, okay, it didn't work. After syncing here, if I go to my client data and again I do this synchronize, so this time my master will come here. Now you can see this ledger is coming. Is there any query?
Yes, in the Q&A, sir.
Yes. Kamalji is asking, do we need to press sync every time? Is there any option that it can sync automatically? Kamalji, if you want the synchronization process to be automated, you can use Tally TDL. You can connect with your Tally partner so that they can help you with that. And Srikant is asking, during this synchronization process, only additional entries or master voucher will come, or it will override the entries data? Sir, everything can be done here. Let me quickly show you with the real life data. Okay. So if I go to alter 2324, just a moment. Okay, a lot of data is there. Let me quickly delete this one. Just a moment. Please ignore what I'm doing right now. Please ignore that part. I'm just deleting some entries from existing data. And then again, we will make the rule in the real life data, and then we will try to sync and we will see how the existing data can be captured in the server PC, or how we can transfer the entries from one data to, or from one PC to another PC. Okay, so this is a company where I'm having these entries only. Okay, along with these entries, I'm having some opening balances, right? Now, this is my client side data. For example, my client is there in Delhi, and in his place of business, we are able to see these transactions. Okay, now let me create a new company at my office. My office is there in Odisha. So I'm making it as Odisha office data, and make sure the financial year should be correct in both the sides. Okay, now first what we have to do, we have to go to our client's data in client system, and we have to enable this option from within features, this synchronization option. We have to enable this, and then what we have to do, we have to go to exchange all sync option, and we have to write some client rule, masters on demand a .NET ID of server PC. That means this is my server PC. For this PC, what is the Tally.NET ID? This one. So I am just giving that ID there. And what is the name of Tally company on server computer? The name is Odisha Office Data. So what I can do, I can simply go to my company, online access, contact detail, and I can press Control C to copy this name, and I can paste it here. For master, what I want to do, I want to send it and accept it. Now for transactions, we have to write a rule. Selecting the rule type as transaction on demand. .NET ID, then name of company on server PC. Direction of sync, I want both. Like from server PC, the data should be pushed to client PC. From client PC, it should be pushed to server PC. So I have to select both, and then I select my voucher types and other things. If I want to make any alteration here, or if I want to enable or disable any options, I can do it here. Else press Control and accept. Once the rules are clear, what we have to do, we have to synchronize it so that the rules will be pushed to Tally server. Okay. Now, after pushing the rules, we have to come to our office data. We have to go to Exchange, and then we have to click on Synchronize, so that it will pull the synchronization. It will pull the rules from Tally server. After getting the rules, we have to click on this All Sync option, server rule, and then we have to activate both the rules one by one. Okay. And then we have to click on Synchronize again. Now, what we can do, we can create one rule here for pushing all the masters from server data, server PC to client PC. For pushing all the masters from server to client, we have to make one rule in server PC also. So for that, we have to go to Exchange, All Sync option, client rule, and then create. Give the name server master, or any name you want to give, you can give. Select the rule type as master, then on demand. Then give your .NET ID of client computer, and then what is the name of your client side company? go to online access, contact detail, and just copy that and paste it here. Let me do one thing. Let me quickly change the name here. And what is the direction of sync? From server, we want to push the data. We want to send the data. So we have to select send data and then press Control A. Now we have created a rule at server side also. Just click on this exchange and synchronize the settings. Okay. Now we have to go to our client side and we have to see before synchronization your data, before pushing your data from your client side to server side or vice versa, please make sure that if any additional voucher type is created, create it manually in your server PC or client PC, whatever the case may be. So here in client side, I can see that gold sales one voucher type is there. And what are the settings? Here the voucher numbering is manual. Okay. So likewise, what I have to do, I have to come to my server PC and I have to create a voucher type first under sales and make the voucher numbering as manual and okay. Now, again, go back to your client system. Is there anything else? No, nothing is there. Okay. So what we can do, simply we can go to exchange and we can click on synchronize. Once the rules are synchronized, both the side, then again you have to come to your client PC and you have to synchronize so that all the transactions will be now pushed to Tally server. And once it is completed, we can go to our server PC and then we can pull all the data from there. Even if you are having thousands of entries, this feature it works very smoothly, and you have to make sure that Tally TSS should be activated if you are going to use all these online options of Tally. Okay. So now it is saying, it is giving me a message that sync ended. All the synchronized process is completed at client side. Now what I can do, I can go to my office computer, that is my server computer, and I can pull the data from the server, that is Tally server. So just I have to synchronize it here. Karthik is asking why only Tally has enabled both side access for transactions and not for master. Karthik ji, it can be possible that always you want to fetch the data from a particular source, like from the branch office, you want to fetch the data to your head office. And whatever changes you are going to make in your head office, you don't want that it should be sent to the branches, right? So for that reason, Masters is not having that both options. Now, in my office computer, you can see I'm having all these entries. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, my office computer, I'm making one payment entry. I'm creating a ledger, accountant, salary. Okay. It is saying that ledger already exists. Okay. Let me make any other expense. rent expenses, indirect expense, and I'm making this GST as not applicable, and I'm saving it. And I'm giving the value as 10,000 rupees. The narration is rent paid for March 2026. Okay. Ignore the voucher entry date. Ignore this date. Just see what we are going to do here. Okay. Now, I have made some entries. I'm going to cancel existing two entries. Cancel. After doing all the changes in my office, at last what I have to do, I have to go exchange and then I have to click on synchronize. So synchronization is completed from my server PC. Now I have to move to my client side. And here also, if I go to this synchronize option, and if I press enter, one new entry will come with the narration and all the details as it is, it will come. And the things that we have cancelled, that will also come into effect, and we can see how the things are cancelled. You can see these two entries are cancelled and one rent expenses along with the narration. Rent paid for March 2026 and the voucher date is 1st April 23. That means everything is fine and perfect. So this is how you can save your time. You now onwards, you can you will not have to ask your client, sir, please give me your data, send your data over email, and then we will file your GSTR1. Today is the last date. No need to say all these things. Just ask your client, or you can configure these settings to your client system. One time only you have to do all these configurations, and after that, you have to ask your client for one thing only. That is, whenever they are opening their Tally, before doing anything, first they have to click on exchange and then click on synchronize. After the data is getting synchronized, they can start their work. And before closing their Tally, it will hardly take 15 seconds. Before closing their Tally, please ask them, sir, before closing, please click on synchronize. Once the data is synchronized, then you can close your system and you can go. Same thing you have to do when you are going to open any Tally data for any of your client. Make this as an habit. First, click on this synchronize option before starting your work. Once the data is synchronized, do your work. And before closing your Tally, please click on synchronize again so that the latest changes will be synced to your client side also. So this was all about today's session, how we can use marked vouchers, how we can use synchronize options. Karthik ji is saying voucher types alone will not get synchronized. Is my understanding correct, sir? Sir, voucher type can get synchronized automatically. There is no such problem, but it is a best practice to create the voucher type manually so that if you have a lot of data, so nowhere you will be getting stuck. It will work automatically. So as a good practice, I am recommending that please create your voucher types manually. Kausalji is asking, sir, suppose client is regularly sync data, but we are opening after 15 days. Thus, yes, sir. Even if you are going to open your Tally data after 20 days, it will work, no problem. Hitesh is asking, once I have shared the marked voucher report, then further I have made changes. How to get the newly changed marked vouchers? Hitesh ji, after enabling that marked voucher option, whenever you are going to make any additional entry, or you are going to alter any entry, or you are going to cancel any entry, automatically the log will be created within marked voucher. Just you have to go to your marked voucher and you have to either export the XML into your local system and you can share it manually, or you can go to that email option. You can select that email option and you can simply send that XML file over email to your client. Okay, I think I have covered all the Q&As. One more question. Voucher type, number, same, any prefix, suffix required. It's better if you are having additional configuration in your voucher. Please have a cross check manually, and then you please try to synchronize your data. All right.
Okay. So, sir, have you seen in the Q&A? Have you answered the two questions which are pending?
Which one? Okay. App password is required for which feature in Tally? Bhavika ji is asking why we need app password in Tally. Bhavika ji, if you want to send email through any third-party app, like any app, not third-party app, any app, whether it can be Tally or any other application, you have to use a separate password for your Gmail ID. And this app password is actually a feature of Gmail, not Tally. So if you want to send email from within Tally, you have to use that. Yes, Akshayji, you will get the recording of this session on YouTube. And Hitesh is asking, once I have shared the marked voucher report, then further I'm... Oh, okay. Hitesh, query is already taken.
Okay. Sir, in the chat, there were two more questions. If
Okay.
you can just...
Let me come to that.
Yeah.
Ronald is saying, sir, I am using Google. It's synchronized online within 2 minutes. Ronald ji, that is you can use that, but it is not recommended, because if you are having some network connectivity issues, your data can you can lose your data with that option. So it's not recommended to use any OneDrive, Google, all these things. Better to use the default features. Why to go with any third-party app? You are going to share your data with any third party. What is the need? You can use this. Is it possible to only sales voucher? Means it possible synchronize. Someone is trying to ask that is it possible to synchronize only a particular voucher type? Yes, it is possible. While making the transaction rules, there was an option that I told which voucher type you want to allow, which you don't want to allow. You can select as per your requirement. So Rajendran sir, you can use that option and you can give access to the particular voucher type that you want to give. During this synchronization process, only additional entries, master voucher will come, or it will override the entire data. No, it will not override. It will just synchronize the additional changes made in your Tally data. First time, it will pick all the data. After that, the data that you are going to change, or if you are creating any new things, that will be only syncing from server to client or client to server side. Ma'am, everything completed.
Superb, actually, and it's so great to see so many queries, and that shows how important this topic was to address in the forum. And I have two raised hands. Can we take questions for them? We actually have a couple of minutes to go. Okay, Mr. Revant. Mr. Revant, do you have a question? I think not anymore. We have covered almost everything. Yeah, so very informative session. Mr. Ritesh says excellent session. Karthik says nice session, sir. Dakkan chapter as well. So that's great. One more time, sir, I'll just repeat a lot of requests for the recording. I have shared the YouTube link as well. And also, if you're part of the CA community, you can just request for it. So as and when the recording will be ready, we'll share with you the YouTube link of the recording. And I've also sent you on the Tally Apex Award, which we are going to do as a part of a CA day this year. so that CAs who have contributed exceptionally to the profession and to the community, we would love that you can actually nominate them or nominate yourself if you think you can qualify. There are three categories. So please do. I'll just share the link one more time, or you're already part of CA community. You must have received email as well. So we'll be doing it in a close circle only. So we are not putting it on the social media, just through email and through our community, so that our community gets the first preference for this Tally Apex Award. And thank you, Gautam ji. As always, your idea was a super hit
Thank
and
you.
very productive session. So thank you so much all. I'll make sure that the recording reaches you at the earliest, and more people can make use of it during the audit session. Okay. Okay. Okay, so sir, just a feedback for you. I think we have to go a little slow so that people who are doing practically in the system along with you can make use of it. Thank you so much for the feedback. Okay, I'll now end this session. Thank you, Gautam sir.